So here's the setup we're going to use. It's a size 8 popper like you would normally use for a fly rod. This one's colored in a black, a chartreuse, and a black color. We've taken a microplastic, if I can get one here, right like that you would use for maybe ice fishing or some clear water fishing. And we're going to thread that on the hook. You can see I've already got one on here. That's going to do two things for us. That's going to give us some weight so we can cast this lure further on our spinning gear, and hopefully it's going to give the fish something soft that when they hit this, they'll have something to maybe hold on to the bait a little longer so we can get a good hook set. So let's head to the water and let's see what we can do. All right, so our bluegills are nesting right now. They're spawning all along this shoreline here. I can see some beds right out here. So our procedure is going to be just to cast this bug out there on top of those beds and see if we can't get them to rise off the bed and hit it. Here we go. There's number one. This guy's got some shoulders. He thinks he is something. I think he is something too, actually. Oh yeah. Oh my. Oh, that's fishing. Never get them all. Let's try that again. That was a big bluegill. See if we can encourage another one to come up here. He come up and looked at it. He didn't want it. Short strike. There's one. It's a good fish. Nice male bluegill. This way of fishing lets you target the fish without getting worm dirt under your fingernails. We'll try just to take 2 or 3 off of each spawning colony so we don't disrupt them too much. See if we can take one more off of here. Yep. Come on in here, fishy. Another male bluegill. The males are the ones that sit on the nest and guard the fry and the eggs. We'll talk about that in a subsequent video down the road. Nice male northern bluegill, about 7-8 inches long. Perfect, good eating size fish. We'll also talk about how we tell that this is a male. But again, that's a video coming up. Check our popper, see what it looks like. Yep. Good part about this is if we're not using live bait, that artificial piece of plastic grub that we put on there, it's going to last a long while. Doesn't get your hands messy either. Twitch it, rest, twitch it, and rest. Come on, is there one more we can take in there? There's one. This is a little different species of fish. If I can get him up here and hold him still, I'll show him to you. This is a male bluegill times red ear cross. See that bug in his mouth? And that's all we're going to take off of this bed. Like I said, we don't want to disrupt these fish too awfully much. That's a good bluegill. Or actually, it's a bluegill times red ear sunfish. It's a lepomus. We'll go with that. Oh. Come here. Time to move. That is the wrong species. No, it's not. What we got here? Looky there. If you want to target the females, which is what you really should be targeting on your bluegills, fish out a little deeper, away from the bank where the males are guarding the nest. The females will stage out in deeper water. This is a female northern strain bluegill. And again, we'll do a head-to-head here on another video. You can see what the difference is. She is gravid, full of eggs right now. Got 4 nice fish. Been here maybe 5 minutes, maybe. Try that again. You can see how that adding that little bit of plastic, that really helps that cast it a lot further than you could normally with spinning gear. All right, I think it's time to move on down the bank. he attacked that. There's a bass looking at it. Oh, he did it too. That is not what we're after. Go back there, Mr. Largemouth. Oh, that's what we're after. Yeah. Another one of those red ear bluegill hybrids we caught earlier. You can see the red on his gill flap right there, indicative of one of his parents being a red ear. All right. That didn't take long. Nice northern male bluegill in his full spawning colors. See, he's got a little mark there on him. That usually happens when they nest. They'll fan out the nest and they'll get a little scuffed up from fighting with one another and being in close proximity. That's normal. You see that we are still using the exact same piece of plastic on that bug that we started out with. Haven't even had to change bait. We've got, what, 6 fish? 7 if you count that big one that got away. All right, that's enough. We're going to move on down the bank. Remember, we don't want to just pillage these spawning beds and take all the males off. We're going to take a couple, 2 or 3 here and there, and just keep moving because they'll be nesting in several places. So let's go on down. That's a better fish. Get that grass off of him. You see the difference from one pond to the next. This is still just a regular male northern strain bluegill. It's a lot more vivid. That just has to do with the water clarity that you catch them out of. Their colors will vary considerably. There's a lot looking at it, but no takers. him. Turn him over so he's facing the right way. I'm not used to displaying fish for a camera. I'm used to getting a hold of them. Well, he's longer than my hand. That's just a good eating fish. You don't want to eat the biggest male bluegills out of your pond. You want to find that class that's below that. Those are the ones you want to target for dinner. Just like this guy. Oh, they're spooky too. They've already ran. Wow. Here comes one. Boom. There we go. Still using that same piece of plastic we put on there when we started. There's no way a live bait would have lasted this long. No bait juice on your fingers, no worm dirt. Do smell like fish, but that's a good thing. You can see how when you're fishing like this, those big males are extremely vulnerable to fishing pressure. That's why that, you know, kind of owe it to yourself to not just pillage the nesting site. You know, you see how we're taking 2 or 3 fish from a nesting site and we're moving on, and you know, let those other fish complete their spawn. And no matter how many fish you're taking, like we've spoke before, never keep the largest size class of bluegills in your pond. The males determine the size hierarchy in the pond, not the females. So determine what the biggest male size class is in your pond and let those fish go. Keep the class, the smaller ones, right below that class. Those are good for the table. Maybe. I don't see anything. We'll see. Yep. Well, they are just inhaling that too. I'll toss him out there in the bank. I'll put him in the fish basket here in just a minute. Boom. Oh. Boom. Boy, they are just hammering that thing. It's taking it deep. Been on the nest for a while. They're probably hungry. Uh-oh, right over the weeds. Didn't matter. He took it anyway. And again, can you see how far that fish has hit that? You know, it's not just in the lip. They are really, really going after it. If I had a hemostat, this would be a lot easier. Those tiny mouths are hard to get in there. All right, that's probably enough for that spot. I'm going to move on down a little more. Boom. There you go, guys. That's how you do it. Artificial lures for spawning bluegills. Okay, you can see we've caught a nice mess of bluegills here. We caught them all on that same popping bug with that little piece of plastic that we put on it for weight. Worked out really, really well for us. Getting a bit of a shower there. If you'd like these bugs for yourself, we get them online at a place called Brim Bugs, and I will put a link in the description. And you guys can check them out there. They're good folks. I buy these 5 or 6 at a time every year to fish with. They do really well. This one right here has caught probably 30 fish today, another 50 or 60 before that, as well as a 20-pound flathead catfish. So yeah, brim bugs. They're pretty good. All right, I got to go clean these fish. We're going to wrap this video up. Guys, please remember to get outside. It's good for you. Be nice to one another. Also, we are trying to grow the channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. The channel is growing great. We couldn't be happier, but we'd like to get a little more if we could. So keep that in mind. Tell your friends about us. Tell your family about us. Every little thing helps. Guys, that's going to do it for this video. We'll see you next time. We get these from a company online called Brim Bugs. I will put a link or a link. Whew, let's try that again. Okay, that's my eye.